At some point along your journey to sobriety, you're gonna face regret. You're gonna face it quite a bit, actually. And in this video, I'm gonna talk to you about how to handle that regret, how to reframe it, and how to move forward. So just know, you're not alone. Everyone who's been where you're at has had some level of regret. Regret of things they did or said while under the influence of alcohol, mistakes they made, opportunities they've missed. And as you go down this road to sobriety, especially when you're newly sober, your mind is going to start to clear up, and which is a good thing, but it also could be it can be tricky if you're not aware, if you're not paying attention to where your mind goes. As you come into this clarity, you're going to start to think about the past, all the things that you suppressed with alcohol, right? Emotions are going to come up to the surface, feelings of guilt, of shame, and that's completely natural. But if you're not careful, that could lead you back to drinking, right? You get into this state of mind and you're like, man, I could have done this, I could have done that, I shouldn't have done this, and it just creates this negative thought cycle in your mind, and it starts to snowball and snowball, and it's easy to get down on yourself and go back to the bottle like you always did, instead of dealing with those emotions. Just know this is completely normal. There's going to be some form of regret. I would imagine most, if not all, people who have had issues with alcohol or have tried to quit or are quitting or have quit have regret. We all have regrets. But how do you deal with those regrets? Do you dwell on them? Do you sit there and feel sorry for yourself? Do you dip back into the bottle? One thing I want you to do is to reframe those experiences. Instead of looking at them from an angle of, I missed out, I did so many things wrong, I hurt so many people, which, hey, might be true, but there's nothing you can do about that now. That's in the past. But what you can do is reframe those experiences and learn from them. Reframe them in a positive light. If you hurt someone, learn from that. Like, what caused you to hurt that person? What caused you to say those mean words to them? Was it the alcohol? Was it you suppressing feelings with alcohol and they finally just boiled up to the top and you just bursted out with anger? Look at things that happened in your past in the lens of curiosity. Instead of judging yourself, putting yourself down, talking badly about yourself, think about how you can learn from those experiences. That way you don't make the same mistake going forward. Everything in life is a learning experience, if you choose to look at it that way. It's easy to play the victim, so to speak, right? Everything's happening to you. Why is this happening to me? Why is my boss being mean to me? Why is my spouse, not being loving and supportive of me? Instead of looking at things as happening to you, you can reframe that as like, things are happening for you. What lesson is this trying to teach you? That will help out quite a bit. In my experience, I was in a negative mindset playing the victim internally, constantly putting myself down. And it wasn't really until I decided to think of things in a different light. I started to go back and look at things I did, the way I was behaving, and instead of looking at it and putting myself down, I asked why. Right? I looked at it from perspective of like, why was I acting that way? Why was I acting out? And that led me to the realization, overall I wasn't happy. And I used alcohol as a way to pretend to be happy. I hated most jobs I've ever had. I disliked. But you do it because that's life. You have bills to pay, you have rent to pay. And I was always just waiting for the weekend, and then I would just get absolutely annihilated all weekend and act like life's fine and I'm having fun and I'm happy. And it just wasn't the case. In the moment, you feel like, oh, life is great because you're drunk, you're buzzed, you're high, and you're out, mingling with people, and everything seems to be fine. But as soon as that's all over, as soon as the alcohol is gone, as soon as Sunday rolls around, you realize, damn, my life still sucks. I still hate my life. I still hate my work. I'm not happy. And on top of that, I'm hungover. I feel like shit. I feel like I haven't slept. And I have to go to work. I have to go to my job that I hate tomorrow morning. And it's just this endless cycle of bullshit, really. And again, maybe you're having those feelings as well. Let me know in the comments, like, what do you regret about drinking? I know it's not easy to share those kinds of things, especially on like a public forum, but it does help other people see what you're going through, because they might be going through something similar and they can relate. Or you'll see something in the comments that you're going through and you can relate. So let me know what you guys are thinking. Now, moving forward, you have an opportunity to turn those regrets into something positive, right? You can be an example to your friends and family of what it looks like, what life looks like without alcohol. If you're dwelling in the past and how you mistreated people in your life, how you acted, the opportunities you missed, and now that you don't have alcohol affecting you in those negative ways, people will see that. You don't even have to talk about it. You have the opportunity to make a change for the better for you, because at the end of the day, it starts with you. No one else got you into this mess except you, and you're the only one that's going to get you out. But as you start climbing out of that hole, people are going to notice the changes, the positive changes. So again, if you're still living in the past, living in regret because of what alcohol has done to you, just know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. But you have to start. You have to start today. That's all I got for you. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you on the next one.